Hi, welcome back to ODE YouTube channel. My name is Paulo and today I'm going to review this little sailor pen. This pen was lent to me by a fellow YouTuber which is called Inky Nib. So check him out. And the pen that I have to show you today is called Sailor Pro Gear Slim. This is a quite small pen that is made of resin, white resin. This one, there are several other colors, and I was quite curious to see how this compares with other Sailor pens. So, first let's take a look at it. It has a flat top and bottom. It has a ring on the top of the cap, and this ring is part of the clip. The clip is quite good and it has a larger band on the bottom of the cap and also a smaller, a narrower ring. On the top of the cap it has the anchor logo, which is the logo of Sailor, and then the barrel has nothing special to it. Then it has the chrome ring there and then the little end with nothing on it also. The wide band on the cap says Sailor Japan and funded in 2011. So this is the Sailor Pro Gear Slim. I have to say that this is quite a small pen that I like. When you uncap it, it has a black section. Is the only part of the pen besides the logo background that is black, and I think that is a good thing. Otherwise a white section might get quite dirty with ink. And the nib, we try to focus it. It is a Sailor nib that says there 1911. Then it has the anchor logo and 14K 585 Sailor. So this is a gold nib, 14 karat gold nib. This background is awful because lots of these little fibers get caught on pens. So there is no ring on the front of the section near the nib, which is a nice thing, and when it closes there is this little ring there. And then you have a Sailor converter. I don't have the box, it just lended me the pen, and so this is what I'm showing you. For the pen, that's what I have to show you. It has these barrel screw to screw in the cap, and let me just show you how many turns it takes to uncap, and it caps very well. Almost two turns to remove the cap. The pen, as I told you, is not a big pen, but you can write with it. If you have much larger hands, maybe you can't, or if you hold the pen higher. But if you hold it here on the section, I think you can use it. The threads are not sharp, and if you prefer you can hold it there. These kind of pens, however, I think I would prefer to post them and to hold it a little higher, like just before the threads, and this way it becomes quite big pen. It is not heavy, it is quite light, and it feels very good. You may think it is quite fragile because it's not heavy, but my experience with Sailors is that this may mistake you. They are not fragile pens, they are quite good, but they seem light. Now, let me show you the size comparison with our usual Parker Centennial Dufault and the Lamy Safari. And you may see that they have that this one is quite smaller, and when we uncap, and let me uncap all of them for you to see how the uncapped and the nib size is compare. It's like this. So when uncapped, you can really see a big difference between the Lamy, the Parker, and the Sailor pen. Let me cap this to avoid stupid accidents. Okay, and now I want to show you this pen next to some other pens that I have. I only have, I think it may be more than enough, but I have 4 Sailor pens. I have this range that is quite cheap. This is the Profit Junior, so it is a very inexpensive pen made of transparent plastic. It is available in lots of colors, so it's a very nice collectible pen, and it is a little bit longer than these. These have steel nib. Then I have a better pen with a steel nib that is the Sailor Pro Color, and you can see it is also bigger. And then I prefer this kind of shape than the Pro Gear. They have 2 fundamental kind of shapes. This is the shape of the 1911, and this is the shape of the Pro Gear. They have several sizes for it, but I have to say that I prefer this cigar shape in Sailor pens. And then I have here these 1911 large, and you can see it is quite bigger. And let's uncap them and compare them. And you see that this 1911 large is bigger. Also, there is a difference in the nibs. And let's go for the hard part of focusing, but it went well. You can see that this one has a 21 carat nib, and this one is a 14 carat nib. They have a 21 carat nib in their bigger fountain pens, and I really like these nibs. The nib design, I think, is overall the same between these 2 pens. The kind of nib is written there on the side of the wing of the nib, and you may see there HM, which means it is a hard medium, and also the one below is a hard medium, which means that is a medium nib but with no flex to it, so it is hard on paper, just that. And now let's see how this pen behaves on paper. And here we are with our pen and paper, and let's see how it performs. And first, let's see, our paper is the Rhodia dot pad. The ink is Parker Quink Blue. If you are using such a pen with such a white, it is not an ivory white, it's really white. If you want to use a pen of these without having any trouble, you better use some safe ink that is not permanent at all, that you can then easily clean. If you look here, there is some ink that goes into the threads, and it's easy to remove because it's this ink, but don't risk to use any more permanent inks in white pens. And the pen is the Sailor Pro Gear Slim. And what do I have to say about this pen? This pen writes very, very well, and it keeps up with the ink flow. This feed and nib are both of them, the set, nib and feed, are really, really good. However, this pen, because it is a Sailor, it has 2 special characteristics to the nib. First, it is not a smooth, it's not the smoothest nib. I would say it is a smooth nib with a feedback, but it has lots of feedback. I like it because I think it, although it has feedback, it is smooth. It's quite hard to explain this difference, but it has feedback, although it is smooth, but it reminds like a pencil writing on paper. But it writes very well with that kind of feedback that I told you, and it also has a kind of a fine line because it is a Japanese pen, and Japanese pens are usually narrower, the nibs are narrower than the European pens. And so you will see this, you will see that is almost no line variation at all, but I will not force anything because this is not my pen. If it was, I could force it a little bit more, but it is on loan, so I will not do it. But you can see there is almost no line variation, and it is written there on the side HM, which means hard medium, so it is a medium line and with a hard nib, not a soft or flexy nib. Let me just use here the Parker Centennial full that it has some ink vent ink inside and show you the line. So the Sailor in blue is a medium line and this one is a fine nib. So this medium is equivalent to the Parker fine. What I have to say in the overall of this pen, I really enjoy this pen. I think it is a very nice little pen. It is very beautiful, very classy, and it looks like you are using a real good writing instruments. In my personal preference, I don't love white pens, but however, I have a couple of them. And I have to say that I prefer the size of the large, the 1911 large. I prefer it, even though the nib is not much bigger, but I prefer the feeling of a bigger and heavier pen. And overall, I have to say, let me pick this one that is quite comparable in size. Let me zoom out a little. That I also prefer this kind of shape. I like it more. I like more this cigar shape. And these pens are quite equivalent in size, not in specifications, because this one has a gold nib and it is of a higher range than this one. So, what I have to show you more, I don't think there is much more, just to show you the ink flow. I would say this is quite a good ink flow for such a fine nib, even though it is a medium, but it is in paper, it is fine, and the ink flow is quite good. Another thing is the reverse writing. Yes, you can write in reverse, but you cannot be very fast writing because it skips and runs dry. But if you write really slowly, it will keep up with your writing. And most interesting of all, it will be much smoother than writing on the regular side. So in reverse, it is like an extra fine line, and it has almost no feedback, which is a quite interesting characteristic. So, I think this is all for today. First of all, let me thank to Luis for sending me for lending me this pen for review. I really appreciate that. I will be giving you this pen back very soon. And to all of you, my viewers, I hope you liked the video. I hope you enjoy what I'm doing. And if you do, please don't forget to subscribe my channel because it's really important. This is all for today. I hope to see you soon. Bye.